Well, that's what Gary's great for. Basically, the way I've done my business is just grinding, between door knocking, cold calling, cold calling up and down the streets, calling expired listings for sale by owners, just old school, just picking up the phone, which I still plan on continuing to do. I don't think that is real, but just the bread and butter, it just hasn't changed. I really don't believe it's changed. But this is the new future as far as social media, different ways of people connecting. And people don't pick up the phone as much as they used to. People don't open their doors as much as they used to. They have the Ring doorbells, the video pops up. It's like, oh, who is that? I don't know. I'm not going to open the door. Whereas before, you used to go knock on, let's say, 50 doors. Maybe 10, 12, 13 of them used to open up. So you have a little conversation with them. It's a yes or no, and it's all good either way. But you used to have that face-to-face connection. But with this technology now, again, just the whole pickup rate is substantially less. Caller ID, call screening, it's changing. It's changing, and you have to go along with that change. And if you don't, then you're just gonna be stuck where you're at.
Yeah, might be left behind.
And that's where he comes in.
All right, and he picks up. And then what are your ideas then? I know you've heard some ideas recently, and you guys, obviously believe in coaching and professional development.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see real estate or your business, from a younger person perspective, and what you already know about social media? How do you see that? How do you see that affecting your business, in the next 10, 20 years?
I think it's definitely going to have a big impact on it, but I think his thinking with the calling and all that stuff's still very necessary. But you could expand even further with the social media, reach a bigger audience, build a brand, and actually have like a lifestyle that you're showing people instead of just, I'm selling your house.
What?
If I just piggyback on this, it was a term that I learned a long time ago. When you're sitting in a chair, or whether it's a bar stool or a chair, whatever it might be, it has at least 3 legs, usually 4, and those are all different supports that keep you sitting and not falling down.
Yeah.
And as you take each one of those legs away, you're going to be that much less stable until you get down to the last 3. On the last 3, you're still stable. You pull one more away, the chair's going to topple over. Social media, I think, is just an additional leg to keep you stable and actually sitting in your chair.
Right.
Of course, you have the cold calling, the for sale by owners, expires, and whatnot. Those are just the ground roots. As things change, some of those legs are going to start getting pulled away, and you need to put another leg back in its place to keep yourself up and floating.
To keep it going.
Yeah.
So you envision kind of a combination of, we'll call it, old school traditional real estate,
Right.
and kind of the real estate of the future.
Definitely.
When you view them as kind of as equal or interdependent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not one is maybe not better than the other, but you kind of have to do both.
Yeah, just another light, another stream, another source of business.
All right, good stuff. So if we could, I know you talked about that ugly 4-letter word with the W, right? But was there, and you said that you couldn't, that failure was not an option, but there are likely some folks, that are watching that may be thinking that maybe failure is an option for them. Then maybe they will, give up, quit, or maybe just do something different. What would you, and maybe they don't have a son to take, so maybe that might not be a job, but they still are they feel like they're close, but still aren't getting the results they need. What would you say to that person that maybe you can help them change their mind and stay in the race?
They really need to develop their why, because if they're thinking about dropping out, that driving force is just not there. Their desire is not there. And honestly, I shouldn't say it this way, but not everybody's got it. Not everybody's trainable. Not everybody's coachable. Not everybody listens to a mouth. It's true. It's absolutely true. And you got to have that driving force, and you got to have that why. And I really took off in my business at the time that I got married. I've been married 25 years. And up until that point, I was, between my 35th, when I started 35 years ago, from 35 to the 25-year mark, when I got married, that's when I really took it seriously. I said, look, hey, I'm getting married here, buying a house, got a mortgage, eventually have a child, children, and it's time to put the big boy pants on. And the time to get real with this thing. And I can't let my wife be the breadwinner. That's it's got to be at a minimum. It's got to be an equal partnership. And I just want to feel good about myself, just being supported by somebody else. That's not me.
Yeah.
And that's why I really took it seriously, and that's when my why really kicked in. And
it sounded like also too that's when the coaching kicked in, because you then had an accountability partner.
yes,
So even though you weren't paid coaching, right? You didn't hire a coach. You wifed your coach, and
accountability.
Yeah, and she was holding you accountable, and she was bringing something to the table. You needed to bring something to the table, and that's, I think, where that failure is not an option kicked in even more.
Right. But it's more of an option when you have somebody supporting you. I used to live with mommy and daddy before I got,
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah, I used to live with my parents. And my mom, God bless her, she's just turned 87 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, thank you. And she always said, oh, it's okay, don't worry, it's okay. It's still a crutch. And didn't have that real driving, yeah, I did want to. Of course, I wanted to succeed, but not in the same way as once you get engaged and you're dating somebody seriously. It's like, this is the real deal. You got to make this happen. So that actually really kicked in. So that why has to be there. That why has to be there, and really set that attainable goal and push it a little bit further out. There's saying, shoot for the stars and settle for the moon. The moon is okay.
Right.
The moon is okay.
Got it.
So
I think also being able to take criticism is very important.
constructive
A
criticism.
lot of people are just like, I don't like what you're saying, and just keep doing what they're doing and fail. You got to be able to listen to whoever's better than you and analyze their idea and see if it makes sense or not in your position.
Give it a fair assessment and be coachable.
Yeah. And as far as coaching too, any coaching company that you're with, obviously they want you to succeed. Because if you don't succeed, you're going to drop out of coaching and they're going to lose money.
Right.
And they're going to get bad-mouthed.
Yeah.
So I've been with other coaching programs now. I just signed up with the Tom Ferry coaching program. And my feeling is you're paying a substantial amount of money for it. And just blind faith. If they say jump, you say how high. That's what you got to do. They're not going to steer you wrong.
Yeah.
They'll make you feel uncomfortable because you're going to go into areas where you're not as comfortable as where you were before, but you can still get the same results if you don't follow what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, that's a part of growth, is being, you can't grow and be comfortable.
Right.
I mean, because otherwise, imagine if you were still wearing the same clothes that you had when you were 5. Mm-hmm. You would be uncomfortable.